A few weeks ago, Amazon announced the Fire Max 11. Its latest tablet that looks unlike anything the company's ever done before and does a few things the company's never done with a tablet before. I'm Jason Cipriani, and in this ZDNET video, I'm going to walk you through my thoughts after using the Fire Max 11 for a week. Alright, so the big thing with the Fire Max 11 is completely new design, right? It has an aluminum housing, gone is the plastic. It still has some rounded edges, but it has flat edges as well. And it looks a heck of a lot like, depending on the angle, an iPad, the overall design of the iPad, or the Chromebook Duet from Lenovo that I talked about in the announcement video a few weeks ago. Yep, it's a little bit bigger, but it's spot on for the design and the way the accessories work. So that was the initial impression out of the box, right? I've seen this before. It really does match up to the pictures that Amazon sent us prior to the announcement. Some basic things here. So the new design is great. I actually like it quite a bit. It has a fingerprint sensor on the side here for unlocking it. And it's telling me I used too many attempts with the pin code to unlock it with my finger. So now we're in. 11-inch display, 2000 by 1200 resolution. Looks great. I don't have any issues with the display. This aspect ratio, where it's longer than it is taller, is fine with me for browsing the web, playing games, watching videos. That all works. There is a single USB-C port here on the side. It's USB-C 2.0, volume rocker. Like I said, fingerprint sensor for the power button here, which is a first for Amazon. There's also a micro SD card slot here that you can up the 64 gig or 128 gig base storage models with up to 1 terabyte of storage. So Amazon keeps that true here to the Fire tablet. 2 cameras. We have an 8 megapixel rear facing camera. We have an 8 megapixel front facing camera. I mean, it's a tablet, right? There's not a whole lot to it. It's light, it's comfortable to hold. If you're using it as a Kindle, which Fire tablets are known to be used for, it's good. I appreciate the design. I don't have any issues with it at all. What Amazon did here, though, is they didn't just release a redesigned tablet. They actually released it as a productivity bundle. If you look on the Amazon website, that you can, for $229, you get the base 64 gig model. For $329, you get a stylus pen that pretty nicely attaches. Looks cool, right? To the side of the tablet here. And then you also get a keyboard case, which is 2 parts. Just like comes on the Lenovo Duet, you have a back case that back cover that magnetically attaches to the tablet. Right, slides right on. It has a built-in kickstand with plenty of viewing angles if you want to just use it without the included keyboard. That also has trackpad support. There are pogo pins on the bottom of the tablet, so that's how it communicates and powers the keyboard, which is a huge upgrade from the last Fire HD 10 or 10 HD tablet with the productivity bundle that had this Bluetooth keyboard case that you had to worry about charging all the time along with the tablet. And Bluetooth keyboards with tablets, whether it's an iPad or especially the Fire tablet, which is normally a little bit slower, are always sluggish, and there's a bit of lag and a delay while you're typing. Bluetooth keyboards and tablets just do not go together. And it didn't work on the last Fire tablet with the productivity bundle as well. This keyboard, though, with trackpad is fantastic. Honestly, for an 11-inch tablet, this is probably one of the best typing experiences I've ever had on a tablet of this size. There's plenty of space between the keys, so it's easy to type on. The keys require minimal effort to type on, and the trackpad, albeit small, it is tiny. I'll give you that. It is actually easy to navigate and use, just not drag and drop items. As far as the stylus pen goes, it has 4,096 different pressure levels. It has a button here on the side you can use to do things like select items and apps. You can write in the universal search bar as well as Silk browsers. address bar, and it'll convert it to text for you if you want to use this instead of typing. And when you do write with this, you can scribble out words to erase it, do stuff like that. It's nice. I don't use stylus all that much unless I'm signing documents, but it works, and it's part of the productivity bundle, so why not? I mean, you could use it or not. Even though it attaches to the side of the keyboard or side of the tablet, it doesn't actually charge that way. There's a 4A battery, so A, not triple A, 4A, quad A. What do you call those batteries? Quadruple A battery inside the stylus that is powered. It's supposed to last for 6 months. Obviously, I've only had the tablet on me for a week, so that may or may not be true. I can't test it right now. I think the biggest takeaway, positive takeaway here is you get a whole lot of tablet and tools for $329 all in. Again, that's for the 64 gigabyte model. If you want the 128 gig, it's $379, but you get the tablet, which has 4 gigs of RAM, a MediaTek processor, and you get the keyboard case, which has the case, back covers, kickstand thing, the keyboard with trackpad, and the pen. You can't get that anywhere else really for this type of tablet and this level of performance. iPads start at $329 depending on which model, and that doesn't include a stylus, that doesn't include a keyboard, nor a back case. So you're getting quite a bit of tablet, quite a bit of features for $329. All right, but what don't I like about this tablet? What does Amazon need to do better in the next Fire Max 11 Gen 2? First and foremost, the App Store. It's one of the Amazon's App Store is one of those things that over the years you just kind of have accepted that it's the way it is, and it's just part of using a Fire tablet. But as Amazon continues to go down this productivity road, and they want people to work from their tablets, and they want to sell it in bundles where you can get work done on a tablet. And I am someone who works on a tablet all the time. It's time for Amazon to figure out a way to adopt Google Play services and support for apps. As it is right now, for those who don't know, Amazon's Fire tablets run Fire OS. It's a forked version of Android, but they leave out Google's services and apps. So that means you don't get Maps, Chrome, Gmail, Docs, Sheets. You go down the list, anything with Google in front of it can't run on the Fire tablet. The App Store that Amazon runs requires developers to submit their apps to the App Store for easy availability. Microsoft, through a partnership with Amazon, has all of their apps in there, so you can use Office, stuff like that. But when it comes to basic productivity apps, I'm struggling with that word. Apps like Slack don't exist in the App Store, Amazon's App Store. And that, I don't know about you, but every client I work with, everything I do for work touches Slack. That's a core app to my experience in getting work done and being productive. And I don't have it on here. That's a huge miss. Okay, so what do you do about other apps? Well, there is sideloading, right? Or even Slack. You could sideload Slack. What that means is you find the app file called an APK somewhere on a website. There are websites out there that are easy to find, but if you Google it, you find a lot of websites. Not all of them are safe. Not all of them take precautions to ensure the Android app, the APK, is safe and hasn't been tampered with and isn't going to steal your information, isn't spyware, bloatware, all of that. So then you download that file. You enable a setting and a prompt on the Fire tablet, and then you install it. That's sideloading. That's Amazon's solution to not having all of the apps in the App Store that it needs or that its users want. That's just not good enough. That is inherently dangerous to the average user. And on top of that, you have to be tech savvy in order to make it happen. I did sideload Slack on this Fire Max 11 through a website, which required me to download that website's app and then download all of the bundled files that Slack requires and use that website's app to install it. It took me an hour to figure it out. And I do this for a living. I cannot imagine a non-tech savvy person navigating what I did and feeling as if it was safe or being able to do it. It's not safe for the average user, and they could easily be tricked. So sideloading, while nice, is not a solution here, and that's frustrating. Which brings me to the second thing that needs a little bit of work on the Fire Max 11, or any Fire tablet for that matter. And you probably thought about it while I was talking about Slack, especially if you're a Slack user, is just use the web browser. Slack works in the web browser. You're right, it does. Except for Amazon Silk browser, when you go to your workspace's domain at Slack and log in, you're greeted with a page that tells you to download the Android version of the app from the Play Store, which the Fire tablet doesn't have. It took me a couple days to figure out that if I went into the menu and went to desktop view, it did work. Slack does work in the browser. It's a little slow. I don't know how it would work on a daily basis with long conversations. I used it for a day in a private Slack group I'm part of with minimal interactions, and it worked, but you don't get notifications through the browser of new messages. So you always have to go back. The low RAM requires that the page refreshes all the time, and it just isn't the best experience. So Silk browser, if Amazon is going to go the route of sticking to not supporting Google Play and Google services and all of that, Silk needs a huge upgrade. You need the ability to add websites to the home screen as shortcuts. Why can't I add Slack to the home screen? You need notification support. The back arrow is hidden in the menu. There's a lot of stuff hidden in the menu, and there's just a lot of small quality of life improvements that Silk browser needs to have on the Fire tablet if using web apps is the alternative to the App Store and sideloading. And right now it's just not there. One last thing I wish was improved on the Fire Max 11 is fast charging. Out of the box, included in the box, there's a 9-watt charger, but you can fast charge. I don't even call this fast charging. You can charge the Fire Max 11 at up to 15 watts, which takes about 3.5 hours to fully charge the tablet. This is not a big tablet. It's an 11-inch tablet that has about 14 hours of battery life, and it shouldn't take that long to charge it. At least support 30-watt charging. I know it's probably a limitation of the USB-C port being 2.0 and all that, but it would be great to see a little bit faster charging. So the bottom line is, Fire Max 11 is a great tablet. If you're in Amazon's Fire ecosystem, the App Store has every app that you need and want and will use, which is, by the way, mostly games, mostly entertainment apps, and a few Microsoft apps. And then the rest are shady-looking Google shortcuts, or shortcuts to Google apps and services. So there's like a Gmail shortcut app, a Maps replacement, which is basically just a web app put into an Android app for access. So you can just go to the website in Silk if you really wanted to use those instead of paying for an app. It just, anyways, the App Store is frustrating. But I digress. Fire Max 11 is a good tablet. The typing experience, the trackpad, all of that works great. I can get work done in Silk browser using Google Docs, but it's not ideal. It's not the best experience on a tablet, although it may be the best experience on a $229 tablet, $329 all in. So should you get one? Well, it depends. Do you use a lot of apps that are not in Amazon's App Store? You need to sit down on a computer, or if you have access to a Fire tablet or some sort of Amazon device that accesses Amazon's App Store, go through that and search for the apps you use on a daily basis. Odds are, if Microsoft isn't in the name, app probably isn't in the App Store. And that's a shame. If that's the case for you, you probably want to look somewhere else for another tablet. However, if all of the apps you use or the majority of the apps you use are in the App Store, you'll have you'll have no problem getting work done on this tablet. You're just going to have to be a little patient with working through some of the caveats, like Silk Browser having to be forced into desktop mode for Slack to work, stuff like that. It's a good tablet, $329. It's a heck of a deal, but it's not going to be for everyone. I'm Jason Cipriani. Thanks for watching this ZDNet video. Make sure to check out more tech tips, news, how-tos, and reviews at zdnet.com.